My name is Kim Namjoon, also known as ARM, the leader of the group BTS. Have you ever wondered who you could become if you stop wasting your mind on things that make you smaller? The woman you dream of becoming will not appear by accident. She is being created right now through every lesson you accept, every truth you face, and every choice you make today. So listen carefully, because these 5 lessons may change not only what you know, but the woman you become. 1. Your future is being shaped by what you learn today. The woman you become tomorrow is being quietly created by what you choose to learn today. Every book you open, every meaningful conversation you listen to, every mistake you study, and every truth you accept adds something to your future. Learning is not only about collecting information, it is about changing the way you think, decide, and respond to life. When you learn about confidence, you begin to speak differently. When you understand boundaries, you stop allowing people to treat you carelessly. When you learn from your failures, you stop seeing them as proof that you are not enough and start seeing them as guidance. Many people wait for life to change before they change themselves. But real transformation begins inside the mind. Your circumstances may not improve overnight, yet every useful lesson gives you a stronger way to face them. Even 20 minutes of focused learning each day can slowly reshape your beliefs, habits, and future choices. Do not underestimate what small daily knowledge can create over time. You may not see the result immediately, but one day you will realize that the wiser, stronger, and more confident woman you became was built through the lessons you refuse to ignore today. 2. Protect your mind from what makes you smaller. Your mind is the place where your future is first imagined, but it is also the place where fear, comparison, and self-doubt can quietly take control. Every day you are surrounded by voices telling you who you should be, how quickly you should succeed, how beautiful you should look, and what kind of life you should already have. When you listen to those voices for too long, you may begin questioning your own path. You may start believing that you are behind, that your progress is not enough, or that someone else's life is more valuable than yours. That is why protecting your mind is not weakness or selfishness. It is one of the strongest forms of self-respect. Pay attention to what you repeatedly allow into your thoughts. Notice how you feel after watching certain content, spending time with certain people, or listening to certain conversations. Some things educate and encourage you, while others leave you feeling insecure, exhausted, and disconnected from yourself. You do not have to keep consuming something simply because everyone else is watching it. You do not have to remain close to people who constantly laugh at your dreams, criticize your growth, or make you feel guilty for becoming stronger. Distance is sometimes necessary when something repeatedly damages your peace. Protecting your mind also means becoming careful about the words you speak to yourself. You cannot build confidence while constantly telling yourself that you are not smart enough, talented enough, attractive enough, or worthy enough. Your inner voice follows you everywhere, so make sure it does not become your greatest enemy. When you make a mistake, correct yourself without destroying yourself. When you fail, learn without turning one difficult moment into a permanent identity. You are not a failure because something did not work. You are a person still learning how to become better. Not every opinion deserves space inside you. People often judge what they do not understand, and sometimes their criticism comes from their own fear, limitation, or disappointment. Listen to advice that helps you grow, but do not allow careless words to decide your worth. Ask yourself whether a voice is guiding you or simply making you smaller. Wisdom can challenge you without humiliating you. Real support can correct you without making you feel powerless. Your mind needs nourishment just like your body. Feed it with knowledge that expands your vision, conversations that awaken your courage, and ideas that remind you of what is possible. Create quiet moments where you can hear your own thoughts without the noise of everyone else's expectations. The more carefully you protect your mind, the more clearly you will recognize your values, your direction, and your true voice. You cannot control everything the world says to you, but you can decide what you allow to stay. Protect your mind because the woman you are becoming needs a place where her confidence, dreams, and future can grow without constantly being made smaller. 03. Teach yourself what life never taught you. There are many important things life expects you to understand, even though no one ever clearly teaches them to you. You may be told to work hard, stay strong, and make good decisions, but no one explains how to rebuild your confidence after rejection, how to recognize when someone is taking advantage of your kindness, or how to remain calm when your life does not move according to your plans. You may learn how to pass exams, but never learn how to handle failure. You may learn how to please others, but never learn how to protect your own peace. This is why your education cannot end with school. At some point, you must take responsibility for teaching yourself what life left unexplained. Teach yourself how your emotions work. Learn the difference between feeling something and allowing that feeling to control every decision you make. Sadness does not mean your life is hopeless. Fear does not always mean you should stop. Loneliness does not mean you should return to people who treated you badly. Your emotions carry messages, but they are not always instructions. When you learn to understand them, you become less likely to react impulsively and more capable of choosing what is truly good for you. Teach yourself how to create boundaries without feeling guilty. Many women are praised for being endlessly patient, available, understanding, and forgiving. But kindness without boundaries can slowly become self-abandonment. You are allowed to say no when something drains you. You are allowed to step away from conversations that disrespect you. You are allowed to protect your time, energy, and emotional health. A boundary is not punishment. It is a clear message about what you will and will not accept in your life. Teach yourself how to be alone without feeling incomplete. Being alone is not the same as being unwanted. Sometimes solitude is where you finally hear the thoughts that were buried beneath everyone else's voices. It gives you space to discover what you enjoy, what you believe, and what kind of future you truly want. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you stop accepting unhealthy relationships simply because you are afraid of being alone. You begin choosing people because they add meaning to your life, not because you need them to fill an emptiness you refuse to face. Teach yourself about money, communication, self-respect, health, and the practical decisions that shape your independence. Learn how to manage what you earn, how to express your needs clearly, how to notice manipulation, and how to ask better questions before making important choices. Knowledge gives you options, and options give you freedom. The more you understand, the harder it becomes for fear, pressure, or other people's opinions to control your life. You must also teach yourself how to begin again. Life will not always reward your effort immediately. Some plans will fail. Some people will leave. Some versions of you will need to be released. Beginning again does not mean you wasted your time. It means you are wise enough to stop forcing what no longer fits your future. Every new beginning carries lessons from the person you used to be. Do not feel ashamed because you are learning something later than others. Everyone receives different guidance, opportunities, and support. Some people were taught confidence early, while others had to rebuild it after years of criticism. Some people grew up understanding healthy love, while others had to unlearn pain before they could recognize it. Your timing does not make your growth less valuable. Become the teacher your younger self needed. Give yourself the patience, honesty, and guidance you may not have received before. Search for answers, read deeply, listen carefully, ask questions without embarrassment, reflect on your experiences instead of repeating them unconsciously. You cannot change everything that was missing from your past, but you can decide that it will not remain missing from your future. The woman you become will be shaped not only by what life gave you, but by everything you had the courage to teach yourself. 04. Turn every painful experience into wisdom. Pain enters life in many forms. Sometimes it comes through rejection, betrayal, failure, disappointment, or the loss of someone you thought would always stay. Sometimes it arrives quietly, through years of feeling unseen, misunderstood, or never quite good enough. When pain first appears, it can make you question everything about yourself. You may wonder what you did wrong, why you were not chosen, or why your effort was not enough. But pain does not always come to prove that you are weak. Sometimes it comes to reveal what you could not see while you were comfortable. Every painful experience carries information. Rejection can teach you that your worth does not decrease simply because someone failed to recognize it. Betrayal can show you where you trusted words more than actions. Failure can reveal the skills, discipline, or patience you still need to develop. Loneliness can help you discover how often you abandon yourself just to keep other people close. The experience may hurt, but the lesson hidden inside it can protect you for years. The problem begins when you stay focused only on what happened and never ask what it came to teach you. You replay the conversation, remember the promises, and imagine all the ways the story could have ended differently. But constantly revisiting the wound does not always bring understanding. Sometimes it only keeps you emotionally trapped in a moment that has already passed. Healing begins when you stop asking, "Why was this done to me?" and begin asking, "What do I understand now that I did not understand before?" Perhaps the experience taught you to stop ignoring your intuition. Maybe you noticed the warning signs, but you remained because you hoped someone would change. Maybe you knew a situation was draining you, yet you stayed because leaving felt frightening. Wisdom is not blaming yourself for what happened. It is being honest enough to recognize what you must do differently next time. You can forgive your past decisions while still learning from them. Pain can also teach you the difference between love and attachment. Love does not require you to lose your identity, silence your needs, or accept repeated disrespect. Attachment, however, can make you hold on to people simply because you are afraid of the emptiness they might leave behind. A painful ending may be the moment you finally realize that missing someone does not mean they belong in your future. You can care about a person and still understand that their presence is no longer healthy for you. Do not allow one painful experience to convince you that every future experience will end the same way. Being betrayed once does not mean everyone is untrustworthy. Failing once does not mean you are incapable. Being rejected does not mean you will never be chosen. Pain often tries to turn one chapter into a permanent belief. It whispers that you should never try again, never trust again, and never hope again. But protecting yourself does not mean closing your heart forever. It means opening it with greater awareness. There is a difference between becoming wise and becoming bitter. Wisdom says, "I will pay attention next time." Bitterness says, "Nothing good can ever happen to me." Wisdom creates boundaries. Bitterness creates walls. Wisdom allows you to move forward with clearer eyes. Bitterness keeps you connected to the people and events that hurt you. Do not give your pain so much power that it changes you into someone who no longer believes in kindness, love, or possibility. You are allowed to grieve what you lost. Strength does not mean pretending that nothing affected you. Cry when you need to cry. Rest when your heart feels exhausted. Speak honestly about what happened. Healing is not a performance, and you do not have to rush simply because other people are uncomfortable with your sadness. But while you honor your pain, remember that it is a place you are passing through, not a home where you must remain forever. Some lessons take time to understand. You may not immediately see why something ended or why a door remained closed. Months or years later, you may look back and realize that the disappointment redirected you toward a better path. You may understand that losing a certain relationship helped you find yourself again, or that failing at one dream forced you to discover a purpose that fit you more deeply. Not every painful event will eventually feel beautiful, but it can still become meaningful. Turn your experiences into questions that help you grow. What did this reveal about your needs? What pattern must you stop repeating? What boundary should have been present? What part of yourself needs healing? What truth were you avoiding? These questions are not meant to punish you. They are meant to return your power to you. Your scars are not proof that you are broken. They are evidence that you survived moments you once believed would defeat you. But survival is only the beginning. The greater victory is becoming wiser without losing your softness, stronger without losing your compassion, and more careful without losing your courage. Do not waste your pain by carrying it without learning from it. Let it deepen your understanding, sharpen your judgment, and strengthen your relationship with yourself. One day you may realize that the experience you wished had never happened taught you the lesson that saved you from repeating the same mistake. The pain may have changed you, but wisdom allows you to decide what that change will become. 05. Knowledge changes nothing until you live it. You can read hundreds of books, listen to powerful speeches, save meaningful quotes, and understand exactly what you need to change. But none of that knowledge will transform your life until it becomes part of the way you live. Knowing that you deserve better is not the same as walking away from what repeatedly hurts you. Understanding the importance of boundaries is not the same as saying no when someone crosses them. Learning about confidence is not the same as speaking when your voice begins to shake. Knowledge may open your eyes, but action is what changes your direction. Many people remain trapped between knowing and doing. They understand their unhealthy habits, recognize their repeated mistakes, and even know which decisions could improve their future. Yet they continue living in the same way. This does not always happen because they are lazy or careless. Sometimes change is frightening because the old version of life feels familiar. Even painful patterns can feel safe when you have known them for a long time. Growth asks you to leave what is familiar before you can see what is possible. And that uncertainty can make you delay the very action that could free you. You may tell yourself that you will begin when you feel completely ready, confident, motivated, or certain. But readiness is rarely a perfect feeling that arrives before action. Most of the time, confidence grows after you begin. You become brave by doing difficult things while fear is still present. You become disciplined by keeping small promises when motivation disappears. You discover your strength by entering moments in which you are not entirely sure of yourself. Waiting to feel fearless may keep you waiting forever. Begin with fear beside you and allow experience to teach you what thought alone cannot. Living what you learn does not require one dramatic transformation. It begins through small decisions repeated consistently. If you have learned that your mornings shape your mind, begin by protecting the first 20 minutes of your day. If you understand that comparison damages your confidence, stop checking the pages that always make you question your progress. If you have learned that your body needs care, choose one healthier habit and practice it regularly. If you know that a relationship is draining you, begin speaking more honestly instead of silently accepting everything. Small actions may not feel powerful at first, but repetition gives them strength. Do not confuse consuming motivational content with making progress. A message can make you feel inspired for a few minutes, but inspiration without application quickly disappears. After learning something valuable, ask yourself, what will I do differently because I now know this? Choose one action that proves the lesson has entered your life. Knowledge should not remain something you admire. It should influence your habits, conversations, standards, and decisions. Perhaps you have learned that your time is valuable, but you still give every hour to people who do not respect it. Maybe you understand self-love, yet your inner voice remains cruel whenever you make a mistake. You might know that rest is necessary, but you still feel guilty whenever you stop working. These contradictions do not make you a failure. They simply show you where your understanding has not yet become practice. Do not judge yourself. Notice the distance between what you believe and how you behave, then begin closing that distance one decision at a time. Real growth often feels uncomfortable because your actions must challenge habits that once protected you. Saying no may feel selfish when you were taught to please everyone. Asking for respect may feel dangerous when you learn to remain silent. Walking away may feel cruel when you were praised for tolerating everything. But discomfort does not always mean you are making the wrong decision. Sometimes it means you are finally making a different one. You must also accept that living your lessons may disappoint people who benefited from the version of you that had no boundaries. When you become more confident, some people may say you have changed. When you stop explaining every decision, they may call you distant. When you protect your time, they may accuse you of becoming selfish. Listen carefully. But do not immediately abandon your growth to make others comfortable. Ask whether you are becoming unkind or simply becoming harder to control. There is a difference. Knowledge becomes wisdom when it survives real life. It is easy to speak about patience when everything is moving according to your plans. It is easy to believe in yourself when people are praising you. It is easy to talk about boundaries when no one is testing them. The real lesson begins when disappointment arrives, when someone questions your worth, or when your progress becomes slow. That is when life asks whether you truly believe what you have learned. You will not practice every lesson perfectly. There will be moments when you return to an old habit, doubt yourself again, or make a choice you thought you had outgrown. Do not use one weak moment as permission to abandon your entire journey. Growth is not proven by never falling backward. It is proven by how quickly you become honest, correct your direction, and continue. A mistake does not erase your progress unless you refuse to learn from it. Be patient with the gap between understanding and mastery. You may learn a truth in one day, but living it can take months. You may understand that you are worthy of respect, yet still need time to stop accepting disrespect. You may know that comparison is harmful, yet catch yourself doing it again. Transformation is not instant because you are not only learning something new, you are also unlearning years of beliefs and behavior. Give yourself time, but do not use patience as an excuse to remain unchanged. Create proof for yourself through action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust within. Every time you speak honestly, you strengthen your voice. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you become more reliable. Every time you walk away from what diminishes you, you teach yourself that your peace matters. Confidence is not created by repeatedly telling yourself that you are powerful. It is created by collecting evidence that you can depend on yourself. The woman you want to become is not waiting at the end of one perfect day. She's being built through ordinary choices that nobody else may notice. She appears when you study instead of wasting another hour, when you rest instead of punishing your exhausted body, when you remain loyal to your standards even when loneliness tempts you to accept less, and when you keep moving despite receiving no applause. Your future is shaped most deeply by the decisions you make when nobody is watching. Do not learn only to sound intelligent. Learn so you can become free. Learn so you can identify what once confused you, protect yourself from what once controlled you, and create opportunities you once believed were impossible. But always remember that information is only a tool. A tool changes nothing while it remains unused. Take one lesson from everything you have heard and place it into your life today. Not next month, not when circumstances become easier, and not when someone gives you permission. Choose one action, make one honest decision, end one harmful pattern, begin one meaningful habit. Speak one truth you have been avoiding. The action may seem small, but it tells your future that you are serious about becoming someone new. The final purpose of learning is not to fill your mind with more words. It is to change the way you live. Let knowledge guide your choices. Let experience deepen your understanding. And let consistent action create the woman you have been imagining. You do not need to transform everything today. You only need to stop leaving every lesson unused. Your life will begin to change when what you know finally becomes what you do. The woman you want to become is not waiting somewhere in the future. She is being built right now through what you choose to learn, what you refuse to accept, and what you finally decide to practice. Do not underestimate one lesson, one book, one honest realization, or one better decision. Small knowledge, lived consistently, can completely change the direction of your life. So protect your mind, question what limits you, learn what life never taught you, turn your pain into wisdom, and never leave valuable knowledge unused. One day, you will look back and realize that the strongest, wisest, and most confident version of you did not appear overnight. She began the moment you decided to educate yourself every day. Keep learning, keep growing, keep becoming. Because the woman you become starts with what you choose to learn today.